Good morning and welcome. Welcome to one of the more important organizational meetings that we have in our school district, that is of the swearing in of newly elected and re-elected school board members. It's my pleasure as superintendent to run the first part of this meeting. And it also gives me great privilege to just bring welcome to the family and friends who are here to celebrate this joyous time. I also want to say a note of Thanksgiving. As a season, as we prepare for Thanksgiving like none other perhaps, I want to personally say thank you. Thank you to the community. Thank you to our school board members for their service, and thank you to the families who support them each and every day, because without your support, they just could not do the job that they do so well. This morning, we have a wonderful occasion of swearing in two newly elected school board members and two re-elected school board members. And I want to congratulate each and every one of all of our board members for their commitment to public education and certainly our school district. To me and to many others, the position of being a school board member is one of the most important and perhaps the highest service in a community, because you deal with and you help shape the future and the quality of our community. So I say thank you. I want to call to order this organizational meeting of the School Board of Pinellas County, the 17th day of November 2020 at 10 a.m. And this meeting is called pursuant to Section 1001.37, the Florida statutes, to administer the oath of office to our newly elected and re-elected school board members, and Section 1001.371 Florida statutes for the purpose of organizing the school board by election of a chair and a vice chair. I'd like to ask for a moment of silent meditation followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. I'd like to ask the Honorable Kimberly Todd to come forward to administer the oath of office. I want to thank Judge Todd for her presence here today and commitment to helping in this joyous occasion. We'll do is we'll first swear in the two newly elected school board members, and we'll start with Mrs. Caprice Edmond. If you please come forward.
You could see the smile under the mask. Are you ready? I do solemnly swear or affirm.
I do solemnly swear or affirm.
Your name.
Caprice Edmond.
That I will support, protect, and defend.
That I will support, protect, and defend.
The Constitution of the United States.
The Constitution of the United States.
And the state of Florida.
And the state of Florida.
And that I am duly qualified to hold office.
And that I am duly qualified to hold office.
Under the Constitution of the state of Florida.
Under the Constitution of the state of Florida.
And that I will well and faithfully perform.
That I will well and faithfully perform.
The duties of school board member.
The duties of school board member.
On which I am about to enter.
On which I am about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations. Our second newly elected school board member is Ms. Laura Tillinghast-Hine.
takes a village, and you have one.
It
Wow.
does take a village.
Are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I do solemnly swear or affirm,
I do solemnly swear,
in your name,
Laura Hine,
that I will support, protect, and defend
that I will support, protect, and defend
the Constitution and government of the United States
the Constitution and government of the United States
and of the state of Florida,
and of the state of Florida,
and that I am duly qualified to hold office
and that I am duly qualified to hold office
under the Constitution of the state,
under the Constitution of the state,
and that I will well and faithfully perform
and that I will well and faithfully perform
the duties of school board member
the duties of school board member
on which I am now about to enter.
on which I am now about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
And now our two re-elected school board members. The first one is Mrs. Carol Cook.
I do solemnly swear or affirm.
I do solemnly swear and affirm. Carol Cook.
Okay. That I will support, protect, and defend
That I will support, protect, and defend
the Constitution and government of the United States
the Constitution and government of the United States
and of the state of Florida,
and the state of Florida,
and that I am duly qualified to hold office
and that I am duly qualified to hold office
under the Constitution of the state,
under the Constitution of the state,
and that I will well and faithfully perform
and that I will well and faithfully perform
the duties of a school board member
the duties of a school board member
on which I'm about to enter.
on which I'm about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God. Thank you.
And our next re-elected school board member is Mrs. Eileen Long.
I do solemnly swear or affirm
I do solemnly swear affirm Eileen M. Long
that I will support, protect, and defend
that I will support, defend, and protect
the Constitution and government of the United States
the Constitution and the government of the United States
and of the state of Florida,
and of the state of Florida,
and that I am duly qualified to hold
And-
office
and that I am duly qualified to hold office
under the Constitution of the state,
under the Constitution of the state,
and that I will well and faithfully perform
that I will well and safely perform
the duties of school board member
the duties of school board member
of what I'm about to enter.
of what I'm about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you, Judge Todd, for your service this morning, and I want to say congratulations on behalf of our entire school district of the four board members who were sworn in today. I want to say I look forward as a superintendent to working with you as a team. School boards across the United States are kind of, in many ways, looked at or evaluated for how well they work together as a team to move the district and move our community forward. And I could say to you without any hesitation that I look forward to this team and working with you. So with that, I ask that you join me up at the dais here at this time, and certainly families and friends. This should not take too long, so if you want to stay, you're certainly welcome to do that. Reese, I think your name is right there. Congratulations. Congratulations. That helped. It's so good to see all of you. Yeah.
Okay, now we have this.
So as I mentioned earlier, our only order of business this morning, at least until I depart from this seat, is to vote on both the chair and vice chair. So with that, I'm going to open the floor for nominations for chair. And what we'll do is I'll call on you and we'll write down any of the names and we'll come back and vote on them as they're presented. So I open up the floor for nominations of chair. Mr. Dudley?
I nominate Carol Cook.
Okay, Carol Cook is nominated. Are there any other nominations for chair?
I nominate Eileen Long.
Hmm?
You all right?
For chair.
Well, are you declining that?
For
or-
chairman.
you'd- Okay. Any other nominations for chair? Hearing none, I'll close the nominations for chair. We'll vote on the one nomination that we have. All those in favor of Mrs. Carol Cook as the chair of the board, please signify by raising your hand and saying aye.
Aye.
Congratulations, Mrs. Cook. I now open the floor for nominations of vice chair.
I nominate myself.
Okay,
Okay.
Mrs. Long. Any other nominations for vice chair? Yes.
I'd like to nominate myself as well.
Okay. Dr. Carr. Any other nominations for vice chair? Hearing none, we'll take a vote on the two nominees. First one is all those, if you could please raise your hand for Mrs. Long, Eileen Long, for vice chair, please. We have 4 votes, so that'll be the majority of that. And so congratulations to Mrs. Long as the vice chair of the school board. So congratulations to Mrs. Cook as the chair and Mrs. Long as the vice chair. This concludes the organizational portion of the meeting. I'll now turn the gavel over to our chairperson, Mrs. Cook.
Okay, thank you, and thank you, board members. The first item of business that we need to do will be to approve the schedule for the regular board meetings and workshops occurring from December 2020 through November 21st for our organizational meeting. If there are any people in the audience or anyone who is attending that would like to speak to this issue, now would be the time for them to come forward. Do we have any speakers? Okay, we have no speakers. So do we have a motion on the floor to approve the schedule? Each one of you has a copy of it. We have a motion to approve. and-
Second.
Who made the motion? Okay, Mr. Dudley made the motion, and Ms. Kane seconded the motion. Is there any conversation? I would like to amend this. In the past, we have only voted on our meeting dates. The workshop dates have been dates that we have scheduled, and we have been able to add other dates to it or not. So I would like to, and I know it's a little unusual, but I would like to make a motion that we approve the workshop, the board meeting dates, as well as the December 8th workshop, and do only those dates at this meeting. The reason is we may want to change the times that we start. We may want us to be able to look at our calendars to see if there are any conflicts. And if we do that, we would have to come back for another vote to change our workshop times. So if there's a second, we can vote on that first.
I
So we're gonna
second.
actually do the, vote on the calendar at the December 8th meeting?
We would vote on our board meeting dates,
Yes,
and our December 8 workshop date is the amendment.
okay.
Okay, and we do have a second?
I second.
Okay, Mrs. Long seconded it.
That's very
Is there any other discussion? Okay, then now we're voting on the amendment, not the full time. So all in favor of approving the amendment to vote only on the school board meeting dates as well as the December 8th workshop date, say aye. Aye. Opposed, say no. And it passes. Now we will vote on that as the official. So we will vote on the approval of the schedule for the regular school board meeting dates as well as the December 8th board workshop date. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. And it passes 7-0. Thank you very much. So that adjourns this meeting. The next one is the easiest of them because we will call to order the Tuesday, November 17th, 2020 School Board Leasing Corporation meeting. And what we need to do on this is to elect our new officers. Mr. Kopersky, would you like to speak to this first?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair, and good morning, board members, Dr. Grego and staff, and members of the public. You are now sitting in the Pinellas County Schools Leasing Corporation Board of Directors meeting. That corporation is actually a Florida nonprofit corporation that has been created in order for the school board legally to participate in your certificates of participation bonds, also known as COPS bonds. And so you need to have a private nonprofit organization receive those funds, and then they have an agreement with the school board. You're all the same people, but that is what is required under Florida law for you to participate in those bonding programs. And so if you have any questions about the bonding program itself, I think Mr. Smith, your CFO, could speak to that. And I think all of you, including the newly elected members, have received somewhat of an orientation regarding the COPS bonds. So you need to have an annual meeting of your leasing corporation. It is always immediately after the school board organization meeting. And as Mrs. Cook said, the sole order of business in this meeting is to elect officers. The corporate bylaws and corporate articles of incorporation contemplate that the officers will be the same as the officers of the school board. So it is just a pro forma action. And so at this time, Mrs. Cook, I would ask that you entertain a motion to appoint Mrs. Cook as the chairperson and president of the corporation, and Mrs. Long as the vice chair and vice president of the corporation.
And do we need to vote on the superintendent as secretary?
No, you do not.
Okay, very good. All right. Is there a motion to the effect of the president of the corporation being Carol Cook as chairman of the board and vice chairman of the organization being Mrs. Long? Mr. Dudley, you make that motion? Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, and it's seconded by Mrs. Kane. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor of the president and vice president being Mrs. Cook and Mrs. Long, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. And it passes 7-0. Thank you very much. And with that, this meeting is adjourned also. Thank you very much.